to the Perfectly Sane Show, episode 720. I am Chris, as always, joined by Tony.
I too think that Donald Trump would make an excellent pope.
We'll circle back to that. Earl is here.
All I can say is, as far as I know, in the past 3 hours, we have not been purchased by any entity that can close us down. So I'm taking that as a net positive for today.
If we got purchased by an entity, I think we would all take the money and run.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's buy the Perfectly Sane Show for $10 million. Okay.
Please.
All right.
I mean, it hasn't cost us nearly that much to run the site over 15 years, but we'll get into that as well. Let's put a pin in that. Jeff is here also.
No.
Jeff's like, what the fuck are you all talking
Speaking
about?
of people who'd make an excellent pope, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm benevolent.
I'd vote for Jeff for Pope. We're not allowed to vote. We're not Cardinals, but yeah. So shit went down this week. A lot of stuff actually today in the games industry. But
All good things.
Yeah, all the things. Yeah. We will get to that momentarily, but yeah, the president evidently thinks he can be Pope. I don't know.
I mean,
if he becomes Pope, would he not be like? Is that?
Well,
this is why I support his candidacy.
I'll take it.
I'm kind of on board. Like,
I mean, the downside, of course, is I feel like you should be Catholic to be the Pope.
I mean, yes, but if they're willing to take him off our hands, as a non-practicing Catholic, I'm on board. And did you guys catch his interview where he clearly didn't know what was in the Declaration of Independence?
I am shocked.
Oh yeah, that was going around today. I guess he did an interview with ABC, just recently over the last 2 days or so. And at one point, he's like kind of pointing out artwork in the Oval Office, and he has brought the Declaration of Independence into the Oval Office. Now I don't know if it's the one that we like actually keep safeguarded in the archives, or if it's the one that was on display in DC. Because that's not like the one you go see in DC is not it. Like that's not the real one.
Yeah, it's because I mean it's almost 200-year-old paper.
Right, like they keep that one in like a nice secure place to keep it all, safe and stuff. But he requested one. It is on his wall, and the interviewer, when Trump pointed up to it, the interviewer was like, "Well, what does that mean to you?" He's like, "Well, it's exactly what it says it is. It's a declaration of love and unity." That's not what it is.
No. It's the opposite of unity. It's
right. Like it's in the name. It's the Declaration of Independence. What are we doing, people? Yeah.
I didn't see that, but I did see where he thought that these like MS-13 tattoos that were like photoshopped on a picture, he thought they were real.
Yeah,
he got mad. He got mad at the journalist, like the interviewer, for being like, "No, those are photoshopped." And he's like, "No, you didn't see them? They're on there." Like,
and they're clear. So like, I was like trying to figure out like who thought that like we could just Photoshop, because it looks photoshopped. It just looks like some text.
Yeah, obviously
it is, photo.
It doesn't even look Photoshop because Photoshop would imply a certain level of quality.
Right. Yeah. This just looks like somebody took like a Microsoft Paint and put some letters on top of an image.
They don't sit on his fist.
Yeah. And like, so I'm like looking at him like, why would anybody even believe outside of him? Why would anybody buy this? And I'm like, I don't think they were meant to. It's meant to signify, like they're trying to say like the M is for whatever the image.
Yeah, that's what the journalist was trying to tell him.
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, you didn't see. Like you didn't see the fuck." He's like, "Dude, it was."
I don't think the journalist should be trying to tell him that.
I know, but like it was. He was like, He's like, yeah, everyone knows it was just like they overlaid it to like try to make a point. And like Trump was like, no, you didn't see it. MS-30, yes.
It's like,
oh my god, dude.
We're in a fucking nightmare. So yeah, politics continues to happen in this country, and it continues to be an absolute shit show. So I don't know if you guys have anything more to add to that, but
Not really.
I was just so envious of Canada. And Canada's like, yeah, you don't have to elect idiots. Granted, they're doing that because we elected an idiot, and they're like, whoa, we don't want that here.
That was like he has become so kind of hated that he's now losing international elections. Like he's trying to like poke himself into international elections, and he's losing there as well. So yeah, everything's going great here in America, guys. So great that Xbox was like, "Hey guys, what if we raise prices by like $100?"
On a system I bought 5 years ago for $100 less.
This is it's the first generation where the prices have increased.
Yeah, and I mean the odd thing is, this means we can kind of have something to, but it's not like, to your point, it's not the first time it's like, PlayStation has increased several times this generation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
wild. That's significant.
Yes.
500 to 600, like 600. I'm like in the zone of I'm buying a TV or something. Like I don't know. It's a little.
And 600 is for the base model, right? Or
the Series?
No,
X.
for the Series X. But
the one terabyte. 1 terabyte.
What you would buy if you were buying an Xbox?
The 2 terabyte is 730. Then there's one that's over 700.
Yes, the 2 terabyte is 730. So the one that I just replaced, which I got for $500.
That's the first thing I thought of. That's the first thing I thought of. Is like, first thing I thought was, oh shit, what if mine breaks? And then I thought of you. And I was like, man, yours kind of crapped out at the optimal time if it was going to,
I mean, yeah, if it had crapped out this week, like I would have been screwed. Like,
yeah,
but an extra $100 to get a replacement. Yeah. So it wasn't just that. Earl, do you have you put up a price list earlier?
Yes. Let me see if I can pull it up, because somebody had a comparison of the different prices, and it's not just the. I assume what you were saying. It's not just the console that's gone up. It's also the accessories.
Yeah, everything's gone up.
Which I think is what Nintendo tried to alleviate with their, because they increased the price.
Yeah, Nintendo did the price increase on all their accessories,
which I think Microsoft was doing as well. But yeah,
yes, that's what, and then they're also doing like, some games by the end of the year will be $80. So the wireless
still free for us, right?
The wireless controller went up from 80 to 90.
First party, yeah.
The Elite controller went from 140 to 150. And the Elite Wireless Series 2 went from 180 to 200. And the wireless headset went from, 110 to 120?
Yep.
Though granted, I mean, maybe I don't think I've bought an Xbox headset since the 360, and I don't think that came with the system.
Because you can buy any headset now. Like,
yeah.
You used to have the one that
because it's connected. That I forgot about that. The one where you needed like the little earpiece. I mean, not yeah.
It's like a little dongle that like plugged into the 360 or Xbox One controller. And it had like the volume buttons and stuff on it. And yeah, as you said, some games will be priced at $80 come this fall. I think that's just. Do you guys think that I think GTA 6 comes in at minimum $80? Do we think it goes higher than that, or
I've seen everyone saying like 100.
I think I mean I'm probably gonna be wrong. I think it comes in at 80. I think everybody else is doing 80, and I think because 80 would still be an increase for them.
Mhm.
I think you come in at 80 just because that's what's expected right now. Um, and it's sad to say expected right now. But yeah, it's just it's what you do. Um, so yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I'm very curious to see. Um, yeah, I'm just curious to see what games they actually are.
Right. I mean, 'cause we know for Nintendo it's Mario Kart World.
Yeah,
And
and
then I guess we don't know if there's anything else.
What is DK? Is it 60 or
70.
70?
So here's a question for you: what is your appetite for an $80 game?
I mean, to be fair, I didn't have an appetite for $70 games. So yeah, I didn't buy $70 games. I'm not gonna buy $80 games. I mean, one of the reasons I jumped on the Mario Kart bundle was it does make the game $50. Um, and I think like I said on uh the skies this week, it's just gonna be a lot more of me finding like those discounted digital coupons and stuff like that. I mean, I just canceled Game Pass today because it's set to renew on Saturday. So I'm like, I cancel it and then I'll because it doesn't do 1-to-1 anymore. Is it still 3-to-2 or is it 2-to-1? I don't know. So I want to do my research on that. But
And Jeff, where do you stand on $80 games? Like, I'm
I
sure
mean,
something's going to come along and we're going to be like, yeah, I got to play that immediately. But
I mean, I guess that's my thing, and then we get into this whenever we do what's say. I don't have a immediacy thing anymore. There's very few games where I'm like, I need to play this week one.
yeah,
I buy so few games now because of Game Pass that like if there's a game I want to play and it's $80, I guess you know what I mean. Like, if that's what it is, like trying to think of
well,
like an
Game
example.
Pass goes up,
I mean,
and
GTA 6 is the only one I can think of that I'd be like, yeah, maybe I would spend $80 on that to start. I'm not feeling it, but maybe.
so I'm.
You could also wait a little bit and get it for
Well,
it'll be
that's
a
Yeah, I could, but I always like anytime I buy a game now, I'm just like, well, you didn't have to buy this, you didn't have to buy this, you didn't have to buy this. I think about back in the day, like I would have to bought all those games. It's like whatever. Like I usually don't give into like the early access side of it, which I know some people succumb to, where you get like 3 days early.
yeah,
But
like Starfield, you get 5 days early if you bought
yeah,
the Super Deluxe version or whatever.
I'm usually pretty good
Never
about
worth
that.
it. Never
But
worth it. Never do that.
I mean,
did do Starfield, but I only did Starfield because I was playing it on Game Pass, and the early access was also included the expansion. So it was like I'm
Yeah.
basically just prepaying for the expansion, and I get to play 5 days early, whatever.
mhm.
But like South of Midnight, I think had like a early access, and it was like I'm not paying $10 extra. Like you don't get anything with it except for the early access. If
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
something, maybe I'm on board, but otherwise no.
Anyways, I don't usually do that, but like, yeah, if there was a game I wanted to play, I mean, don't tell anybody, but if there's a game I wanted to play and it was $80, I would buy it just because I have to buy so few games these days. I don't really give a shit. It's just like, okay, I buy three $80 games a year, and the rest of them are fucking included with Game Pass. Like, I don't know.
Tony, where's your appetite for $80 games? I mean, also you sometimes have to buy more than one copy.
More than one copy of the same game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the game is awesome, I'd probably pay $80 for it. Like if you told me the new GTA coming out this fall was $80, well, I would
It
shell out
most,
$80.
it most certainly will be $80. I'm with Chris.
Yeah. So
at least 80.
minimum, right? Like
Yeah,
minimum.
Chris said 80 minimum. I see so many people saying 100, and I would not be
Oh, it's
surprised.
not gonna be hot.
I don't know. I wouldn't be
people say,
surprised.
but I think people were saying 100 oddly enough before things became 80 because I think they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, but
Yeah.
now that I think 80's kind of becoming the default, I could see them going with 80.
Yeah, I can see that too, but I don't think it'll be less than 80. I'd be
And the-
No, I
surprised if
don't
it was
think
less.
I don't think it'll
It's
be
like
less than
the
80.
default high number, right? Because like Microsoft and Nintendo are still going to be releasing things at 70 or sometimes at
Right.
60. Like I think what Clair Obscur, which isn't a Microsoft game, but it's through Game Pass. That was what 50, I think. South of Midnight was, so I guess like depending upon how big it is, the price will vary. But yeah, I don't know. Like I can't see myself paying $80 for like Madden.
Well, I wouldn't pay $60 for Madden,
Right.
so your thing. But no, yeah, I don't know. If you told me Donkey Kong was $80, I would buy that shit day one. Like I hate to admit that. I don't want these companies to know that, but I would because I fucking want to play Donkey Kong. Like,
the thing with Donkey Kong too, and Earl's brought this up, is Nintendo games rarely ever go on sale. So
yeah,
if Nintendo's like it's an $80 game, well, like in what Breath of the Wild is what 7 years old now.
like I could wait like 8 months to get it for $62 on a digital sale. Like it's just
right, maybe.
Yeah, it's not. You might as well just buy it.
yeah.
But yeah, like Assassin's Creed, if they are like, oh, Assassin's Creed Red is
Of course
going to be $80. It's like, all right, well, either I buy Ubisoft Plus, Tony, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Either get that for a month or two, or I wait a few months because Ubisoft puts their shit on sale pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild time for pricing. I wonder where things are gonna play out here. Like Microsoft wasn't selling consoles really at $500. Are they gonna sell like
No.
the same amount?
We're heading to a recession. Recession. That's what's happening.
Well, fortunately, I got my purchases in already. Kind of locked in for them, so
I just hope my old Xbox doesn't break. Because goddamn it.
Well, I guess that's the other question. Like, is it just more likely that if something breaks, I'm good for a bit until because I mean I haven't had to do it since the 360 really, but I've upgraded my Xbox One because what was it? It was the One S.
Went to the 1S, yeah.
One X, yeah.
1X.
Yeah, and I upgraded my Switch to the OLED. But now I'm like, I think if I get a console, if I'm dropping $500, this thing's going to be a hyper.
I will say, if my Xbox had died today, I don't know. Like I would not jump right back. Like I did jump at it because I was like, oh, the tariff's going to fuck with prices, so let me get it at 500. But I got my new laptop. I've been playing a lot more stuff there. And it's still like Xbox stuff. So it's like, if my Xbox were to die today, I'm like, I can wait a little bit. I have that in the PlayStation.
I would be running to the store. My Xbox is essential.
But it's your primary machine too. Right?
Yes, for everything. Like not just it's for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was just curious because a lot of conversation around this now is basically not just this. I should say. I think it's come up a lot recently. It's just people being priced out of hobbies. Movie theaters aren't getting cheaper. Video games aren't getting cheaper.
Right.
Comic books are their own thing. Board games
also not
are getting
cheaper.
Yeah, board games are about to become a thing because a lot of those minis and pieces are manufactured in China, and there's not enough capacity for you to kind of bulk purchase board games as you wish other things. So Yeah, a lot of industries are struggling. I mean, the same thing with wrestling. I mean, I was looking at tickets for SummerSlam, and the cheapest one's like $200. Like, what family is going to be able to take their kids to that?
Yeah, I'm wondering because like you saw it this week. I mean, Beyonce just started her tour, and I think the second night of her tour, like there were still half the tickets open. So I don't know if some of that's like scalpers bought them up and then weren't able to sell them at their astronomical prices, or if people were already starting to pull back on some of that stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
you
so
see that. I mean, oh, go on.
the weekend's coming to Philly again, and like
The
I'm
weekend
like
comes every
thinking,
weekend.
like the musical artist, the weekend is coming to Philly for 2 days in July, and when he came 3 years ago, like those tickets were gobbled up for the link. We're 2 months out from the show now, and there's still tickets on sale. So it's
Yeah,
like,
and I think that happens a lot because I think again, kind of like with video games, people are I can wait because if it's not like I can miss out, but day of and stuff you can probably get cheaper. So a lot of
Mhm.
it is scalpers buying stuff. And I don't think it's helped. I don't know if everybody does it. That stupid Ticketmaster, flexible, um, ticket where it goes up.
What is that called?
I forget what it's actually called, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, where the pricing is dependent upon demand.
Yes, but only in one direction.
Yes, it's only ever up. It's never, it's never. Oh, nobody's buying these. We're gonna sell them for $25. Um, well, that's the price increasing, and then also games media is dead. Just FYI.
It's dead.
I mean, all media is dead, right? It's all dead.
Yeah. So this I did not catch. So Earl made a comment when I asked if he was good to go tonight, and he said it at the beginning of the show too. Just in case we don't get sold out or bought up before the show starts. But Polygon was sold. I don't know if it was sold yesterday or today.
I think it was
Um,
today. Oh,
to
the news
a
came out this morning. Yes.
Yes, they were sold to Thane Media, I think. Basically to a content mill that has been buying. They bought up like Screen Rant and a bunch of other like entertainment sites. They
Yes.
bought Polygon, laid off 80,
Most people.
90% of the staff.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like Chris Plant's gone. All of their like senior staff are gone except for like maybe Maddie Myers and like one or two other people. Everybody eliminated from that site. Um, yeah, so Polygon's essentially dead. I mean, I don't. If you get
Yeah.
rid of all their good writers, like what's left?
Well, yeah, because I saw somebody point this out, and I think it's true. Because Polygon uh, isn't what am I trying to say? It's not what you think. The brand isn't Polygon. The brand's always been kind of their quality of writing.
Yeah,
Uh, it's yeah, it's not personality driven like some other ones, but it has been the quality and you lose that, you lose the trust. So you're just buying a brand that doesn't mean anything to anybody. Um, and for what I don't know.
You just ride off of that until people realize it's not what it was. You know what I mean? Like it is like people all know what Polygon is.
But the people who know what Polygon are the people who know what's happening.
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe, but
yeah.
like it's big enough that like people hear that like, oh, that's a website. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like they're buying a brand and they give a fuck what they're doing with it. I don't know what else are they doing. Like if you're
That's
firing
what I
everybody,
mean. It's like I feel like the brand isn't strong enough on its own. Like how often do you go to Polygon?
I don't go with
I
any
mean,
It
fucking
comes up.
these sites
It
anymore.
comes up in
So
search engines a lot.
It
I feel
does,
like
but
Polygon is like that's the site that I go to for news or did go to for news before today. But that's just because like I trusted the staff there, I trusted the writers there. They actually have good reporters or had good reporters. um, in recent years, it's been less. Like they've moved on to more like guide writing and stuff.
And I think that's what a lot of people. The problem is everybody wants to do that because I mean the other story will also get into that.
Mhm.
Is but if everybody's writing a guide, why do we need 20 websites on? And I will also say, as somebody who sometimes like guides on these sites, and I mean I'd say that, but the way they're written are so awful because it will be an article for every
Oh yeah.
little thing. Oh, you're missing it. No, just give me one giant guide. I don't need a Google search for every particular area in the game.
But that's how they drive traffic, right? It's like, oh, like so. I was trying to look. I was looking up something, and like typed in, whatever the keyword search was, and I think gamer.com is one that does a lot of guide writing, and if you click on it, and it is like it brings you to that. It's just that piece, and then there's like links at the bottom that'll bring you to the rest of the guide, but they're all separate. Like you have to kind of like click through it. It's not just one big guide, because they're trying to like generate the clicks to get the ad revenue, and a lot of these sites are just riddled with ads too.
And then it also becomes the same thing that a lot of people criticize cooking websites for, where it's just a lot of fluff text. Because to answer your question, it could probably fit in a text message, but they need some way for like the website. So it's like, oh, the Legend of Zelda's Echo of Wisdom is the latest adventure in the Legend of Zelda franchise, and it stars Zelda. And okay, so you wanted to know how to like start the game. That will come in paragraph 4.
Yeah, so they were bought by Valnet. Valnet owns Game Rant, Dual Shockers, Screen Rant,
Oh, DualShock is a name I've not heard in that time.
Collider, CBR, Movie Web, How to Geek. They also own Open Critic, which I did not know. I mean, Open Critic is just an aggregate score site, but I didn't realize that they also had gotten their hooks into them. Yeah, so seems like the end of, at least for Polygon, the end.
I kind of feel like with games media in particular, like it doesn't take much for another site to just rise.
Yeah.
No, and like, yes, because I mean, from the show of everything, things rise. I mean, it's kind of how you got like Way Forward, what is it, Nexander, and
Yeah,
so
Remap came out of Waypoint. Nextlander came out of the old Giant Bomb before, which we'll talk about new Giant Bomb. Nextlander came out of that, yeah. After Click or something came out of the old Escapist. Aftermath is the one that came out of the Escapist. Yeah, so guess if you use Polygon like I did, you'll need to find yourself a new news site. But
I mean, Polygon Game Informer's back, so you got that.
yeah, and not tied to game.
I mean, and I think that's the other thing is I think a lot of people are probably going to have to start going straight to consumer, but the problem is consumers need money, because there's always some like I recently got really into Kind of Funny. I think because they are, I mean, it's a video game site. It's not even a site really. They don't do news and stuff. They're mostly just like videos, but they are a multimedia, and so they do movies, they do TV shows, they do video games, and this and like so they got that going for them.
And yeah, they're personality driven, with Greg Miller as kind of their head there. So
Yes.
I guess the other one here, and this is a personality driven website. Giant Bomb has kind of been put on hold.
That's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah. So it seems like Dan Reichert, who was their creative director after Jeff Gerstmann left 2 years ago.
Did he leave?
Yeah, Gerstmann's been gone for 2 years.
I know he's been gone. I didn't know if he left or if it was like one of those.
I think it was he was kind of told to leave.
Oh,
So-
so it's kind of similar to Dan, and basically it seems like it came out that they wanted them to pivot from video, which is a very weird thing to say to Giant Bomb, because I feel like they were one of the first people I remember starting the whole video. Like their quick looks have gotten me to buy so many video games, and it's
Yeah.
just a simple concept of like, hey, watch us play this game for half an hour. But yeah,
So Dan is gone. Jeff Grubb, who was kind of their news guru, he is also gone, and Mike Minuta, who's good friends with Dan Reichert,
and I think
also gone from there.
I think really good friends with Grubb, because I think they did Game Mess together.
Mm.
So yeah, it's basically the people know are gone, and part of it was they wanted them to pivot from video, but also they wanted them to be more of a guide writing site, which again, because I think they own, because they fandom,
Fanatical owns them, yeah.
and I think they own like the wiki.
Yep. Yeah, just about any wiki. Like if you go like
Any wiki that's not actually wiki.
Zelda wiki. Yeah, so if you go to like Zelda fandom is who owns them. If you go to zelda.fandom.com, or you just type in Zelda wiki, the second one in that's not Wikipedia, the Zelda wiki is run by Fandom. That is who owns Giant Bomb. They own a bunch of sites. I believe they also own Game.
They own GameSpot as well. Yeah.
I keep getting them mixed up.
I always
GameStop. I have to think about it a second. Yeah. So that's a mess, and I think that's kind of one. Giant Bomb, as you said, Earl, is very personality driven. You know, what made them big was their podcasts and their videos, their quick looks, their their streams on Fridays and
their multi-day, multi-hour game of the year deliberations, like those again, those spectacles on their own.
I mean, that's that is what our originally how ours were modeled after kind of what they put through, when we started 15 years ago. So, yeah, it's a mess. I stopped paying any attention to Giant Bomb when Gerstmann left, and really, I think the site probably died the year before that when Vinny Caravella, Brad Shoemaker, and Alex left the site. They, being three of the 5 founding members of the original site. So there's no original members left, and even the second kind of tier, like Reichert, Grubb, those guys are now gone. That doesn't sound great for Giant Bomb either. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and again, all it is coming out the same day, and again, this is one half of the industry. The other half was not doing much better this week.
Yeah, so those were the 3 things I caught. Earl, anything else that I missed from today?
Did you do the EA one?
Oh no. Yeah, so that was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, EA. They canceled a new Titanfall game, which hearing what it was.
Oh God,
that sounds fine. So it was going to be an extraction shooter.
My 2 favorite parts about that, there's nothing positive. No. Is one, somebody's like, EA should put out a collection of canceled Titanfall games. Because there's
There's
been
got
a
to be
few
at
of them
least 5 at
now.
this point. Like they canceled a Titanfall card game. They canceled the original Titanfall 3. They've killed and Apex is technically in the Titanfall universe.
Yeah.
They canceled an Apex game from there. This new Titanfall game, and I think there's a 5th one somewhere in there that they've also killed. Yeah. So in the midst of that, though, they are also laying off a ton of people. Multi-hundred, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was the numbers were weird because I think it came out. I think it was stories where I think the story about Respawn came out, and then people said they were laying off 300-400 people. But everybody's like, I don't think there's that many people in Respawn. And then like it was, oh, they're laying off a bunch of people from just EA across the board.
Yes.
So yeah, not a great time. Not a great time.
They said FC25, which is their soccer game, failed to meet their expectations again this year.
I don't know how
So-
that means. It's one of those things again where it sucks that everybody else has to pay for somebody else's Hoover. Because you could have just paid people for their license, and you wouldn't have these headaches.
Yeah, and maybe it's just like outside of the fact that the license isn't there, so that probably does draw some people off of it. But are people buying as much? It's Ultimate Team, right? Is their thing? Like, are people buying as much FIFA Ultimate Team or Madden Ultimate Team as they were in the past? Like, people might not have as much disposable income for that type of shit anymore.
That also came out this week. I haven't got a chance to get it yet. I've heard a lot of feedback. Alana Pear from I want to say Kotaku, or she used to be, I think. She put out a video this week, like what's the problem with the gaming industry, and a lot of it came out that basically during the pandemic, it was just like this hot thing where it was growing, it was booming, so a bunch of people were putting money into it, and the growth kind of plateaued, and you're not you're you're still making money, you're just not growing the amount of money you're making, and that seems to be where a lot of the investment has dried up now, is because people want that return on investment that keeps on going up, and not just like we're making money, we're making this like predictable money. We give you 50 cents, you make a buck. No, we give you 50 cents, you want us to make you a buck this year, a buck 25 next year, a buck 50 in 2 years, and that's not happening anymore because the height of the pandemic, people were inside, they needed something to do. They're not doing that anymore.
So, layoffs at EA, 300, 400 positions being let go there. Did I miss anything, Earl? Any other news?
I think those are the ones that come to mind. I will peruse to see if anything catches the eye. Oh, I mean, I guess it's news-ish. Borderlands got pushed up a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, that's a
Up.
new one. Yeah.
Yeah, it got pushed
I guess
up
that happens occasionally, but
Yes, and Brandy Pitchford made a big deal about it. But the speculation, a lot of people were like, "Oh, maybe they're trying to get out of the way of another game they just heard about." Because I think everybody's just, GTA 6 is coming, and I think anybody's just looking for any hints that it's still expected to hit this year. I mean, we'll hear something about it sooner, I guess.
I have a feeling we're gonna hear about it maybe in the next month and a half. I think by mid-June we're gonna know when GTA 6 is coming out.
is Jeff Keighley going to tell us?
I think he
Probably.
might.
I don't think so, because it's like even when E3 was at its peak, GTA had it was its own thing. Like I don't remember last time GTA or Rockstar in general was like an E3 thing, because even Red Dead was like its own showcase, because it's big enough to do that. Like I think there are a handful of games that can, or franchises, and GTA is definitely one of them. Um, this is game related, game adjacent. I mean, it's game related because it comes from video games, but it has longer ramifications, which is, I think ages ago we talked about the Apple versus Epic lawsuit, how that went out. I guess the judge offered remedial whatever this week because Apple had kind of ignored their first thing. So now it's Apple can't force apps to have in-app purchases go to the App Store, and they can no longer take a cut from people buying something in-app from another storefront. So one, I guess Fortnite's coming back to Apple devices next week, but I think Epic is also trying to launch an app store on the Apple devices. So that again, that is very much an Epic thing, but it does seem like it will also have ramifications for other vendors and developers who can now, and when I say developers in this term, app developers who can now go into external stores and kind of bypass that 30% Apple takes.
So Fortnite's coming back to iPhone.
Yes. Or iOS devices, I assume iPads as well.
Oh yeah, so you put it on iPad and play with the controller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those, like too big, but somebody had to lose. And I do think it's fair. I think it's weird to just have a blanket, we control the store, you can't do anything about it policy. Um, so yeah.
All right, well, I guess get ready for Fortnite back on iOS.
Woohoo!
If you're waiting on it,
Changes everything.
right? Yeah, so that's the news. None of it seems really cheerful, like the rest of the world. But we have played some games. Well, I know I've played some stuff. I know Jeff has as well because we've been talking about it all week. We've continued to play Clair Obscur. I keep wanting to call it Clair Obscura, but Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Jeff is much further ahead of me.
Really?
Maybe not much further, but I think you're like three zones up on me now.
You're in Act 2, though, right?
I'm in Act 2, yeah.
Same. Struggling.
Okay.
Struggling.
So I just got the final party member.
Yeah, okay.
He's Monoko. He's a gestural, so he's one of the paintbrush hair dudes, and he has an interesting combat system. But yeah, Jeff. So you've continued on with it. You've sent me a couple texts over the past week where you're like, I think I'm at my point. I think this might be it now. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, nope, I got it. I'm good.
Well, no, there was really one point. I got to a boss in Act 2 where he had like these 3 giant masks behind him, and you could not attack them. So it wasn't like kill his minions so that like they can't help him. Like you couldn't do anything to these masks. And every other turn, one of the masks would heal him for 10,000 XP or HP. And I was just like, well, this is unwinnable. Like I fought him for like an hour and he still had like 70% of his health and I was all fucking depleted. But it turns out that like the level has a bunch of different paths, and when you go down these different paths, you get to fight a mask boss, and if you kill all those mask bosses, well, they're not behind the boss at the end of the fucking level. Like, so, yeah.
Problem
And,
solved.
yeah. So it was just me literally I had made a mistake that I kind of did the Dark Souls or Elden Ring thing where I was just like trying to run through a level because I didn't want to fight any of these enemies, and missed the whole level. But I will say this: like I have pretty much nothing but praise for this game. I love it. I think it's a great game. But where I'm at this point in Act 2, I'm not really enjoying the combat, and that's like my favorite thing about the game. To the point where I just like backed out of this level I'm in. I'm just like, I'm gonna go grind, and that's because the common enemies, even in the like, so on that island I fucked up on, where I like kind of skipped through the whole level. All the enemies like stack themselves with shields every turn. You're just like, well, I'm like wasting all my time trying to break through shields, or wasting all my moves basically to break through shields and have nothing left. And that kind of sucked. And then I got to this other island that I'm at now, and there are literally common enemies. So just like the people you can run into in a counter, they fucking like will dodge every attack that you do. Like literally, like they'll dodge like 95% of the attacks you do. And the only way to hurt them is by getting a parry. And it's just like, well, I don't love this. Like, so I'm at a point of frustration with the game, but I do love playing it so much that I just backed out and I'm just like roaming around the big overworld map and just like fucking around now and just getting into like easier battles, because I think the battles are great, but it's like that, man, they're leading so. I think that I'm maybe near the end of the game more than I think. And it's just insanity. But yeah, I don't know. I really love the game. What has everyone here played it or no?
I has not.
I started it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle of Act 1. I don't know how much
Okay.
of it I will play. I will say the game. I think you guys both said this. It starts out so slow. I just wanted to die in that first fight.
Yeah, it gets really great though. Like honestly, like I don't know where you are in it, but like, have you gotten to like the floating waters area?
Floating waters.
It's like
Probably not.
So
No, you would know. You would know.
it's like the second main area, and it's like
Yeah.
everything in it. You're just walking around, but everything in it kind of like it seems like you're walking through a fish tank. Like visually, like there's fish flying above your head, and all the
Oh gosh, no.
all the stuff on the ground is like coral and sea plants and stuff. But you're still just like walking through it like normal.
I would just say from like there through at least ancient sanctuary, which is like an area or two past that, like boy, that game like really hits its stride. And so like I hope you at least play through Act 1, because like the areas come so visually like awesome, and the music keeps getting better, and the battles keep getting better. So like there's a stretch through Act 1 where I was just like, this is one of the best games I've ever played. And I still like, even now, I'm like, I really like it a lot, but like I just don't love the part I'm stuck at, because I'm just like, this seems so unfair and so stacked against you. And I did make some mistakes with building my party and whatnot, so like I should correct that. But it's just like I'm just going back out and grinding so I can feel a little more powerful. But other than that, like I just think this game is such a must play, and my opinion really hasn't changed on it.
There's so many like systems too that just aren't explained. So like there's we talked a little bit about it last week. There are these you have like these 3 slots that allow you to equip like passive skills.
Yeah, well, that's where I was fucking up a lot.
And then if you like utilize if you have it equipped for 4 battles, then you learn the skill or master the skill, and then that skill can actually be utilized by anybody. But they don't tell you how to do it. Like you just kind of have to fuck around in the menu, and eventually, like you'll hit on something, and there's a sub currency called Luminous. Yeah. And these skills, you can buy them, Like, so if you want, one of your characters to utilize, like Loon, the mage lady, if you want her to kind of like utilize some of these, you can kind of go through any of the ones that you've already mastered, and you can buy them for that amount, and then they become kind of equipped on her passively. So you want to like you want to find as many of these Luminos as you can, or buy them from any of the vendors, because you want to be putting as many of those things on there, so like you can you could like equip so you have first attack all the time. You don't have to do the outside world attack.
Or you have you start with an extra action point. That's a huge one. Like, so like you could pull off a 5 action point move right away instead of like a 4 or 3. Like, anyways, but
they don't explain any of that shit.
I did not engage with that until way too late. Like, I was like putting pictos on, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I was
doing. And then when they became learned, I would move them over to the right side of my character. And then, I was like, oh, those are my Luminas. And then I would put new ones on the left side where the pictos were. But what I did not realize, one, you could, like, once they become a Lumina, anyone could use it. But way more importantly, I did not realize that, like, you can equip more and more Luminas as you go, and that you could spend points to increase how many Luminas you're carrying. So, like, I was going into battles with, like, only 1 or 2, like, or, only a handful of buffs, when I could have had, like, 20 buffs happening on me. Yeah. And I'm still playing catch-up on that, because I just did not realize that I was playing it wrong at first. But, like, even still, I'm just like, I don't know, like, where I'm at in the game, like, what other Lumina do I have, or Pictos do I have that would, like, get me through this? And I'm like, I don't know. I must have missed some really good ones, because Sean is crushing it. Like, Sean is, like, killing this game. And meanwhile, like, I kind of stalled out, like, last night. I was like, God damn, dude, like, every little skirmish I get in, I'm like, this sucks. So I'm just going back out and fucking around.
My guess is Sean is probably playing it more closely to how I play JRPGs, which is we're over leveling.
Yeah.
Earlier on. So like I kind of looked at what level is your highest character at right now, Jeff?
Honestly, I don't know offhand. Like I don't know.
So I was
somewhere
like
around. Yeah.
I was looking at your achievements, and like there's an achievement for hitting level 33, also for 66 and 99, but like I didn't see you pop that one yet.
I don't think I have, no.
And like but my guys, like, and I'm 2 or 3 zones behind
I
you.
know, so it's
I'm like 37 or 38. Like,
so what I need to do, like what I am doing right now is I'm kind of like gonna backtrack that way, which also really sucks because like if I could just have normal fast travel on a map in the game, like that's my other huge complaint with this game is like the lack of a map is like really grating on me at times. Like, or like I just can't like go. I want to go back to this zone. Like you could fast travel between flags within a level, but I don't think you could do much beyond that.
I think you can so I believe you can, like, from a flag you can fast travel to previous areas, but it's like
you go back
in that area.
Oh, but you can go to another area.
Yeah, I haven't used it, but like the first time I saw it, I was in.
I did see something say back to continent, and I thought, like, is that it? But like,
so like one would bring me back to whatever the zone, the first zone before floating waters. Like it gave me the option to go there, and I was like,
okay, because if I could go between zones, that's fine. Because like, the thing is, if you're in a flag in the middle of the level, it's like, all right, if I want to get to another area of the map, like the actual map, I don't know which way to go through this level because it doesn't give me fucking anything, like a compass, a map, a fucking line, nothing. And so it's just like it's easy to get lost in levels.
Like, you do have the map, right? Well, not in the level, right? In the on the open world.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you want to get out of a level to go back to the map, it's just like I have no idea.
You have to kind of just wander around till you find the shimmering exit. Yeah, I do wish that, like, like in Resident Evil or Silent Hill, like when you hit a zone, it's like, all right, I find, and you normally have to find it, but it's normally pretty early in a level, and it's normally pretty easy to find, like the map of the area. Like
Yeah.
you go in Resident Evil 2, and like if you search around, there'll be like a map of the police station, or Silent Hill will be like, here's the map of the waterfront. Like it would be nice if you're like, all right, map of floating waters, and you just like
Yeah, I was bitching about this to Sean, and he was like, I don't know, I like that it doesn't have any of this stuff because I like the exploration. And I was like, to me, like, one of the things I love. Well, one of the things I love about exploration is a map. Like that's
yeah.
I like looking at a map and going, did I explore this area? Or you know what I mean? Like that's part of it for me.
The thing they could also do, because like there's a a bunch of JRPGs that do this as well. As you explore, like the map forms for you, and then if you have to come back, you have a map. But there is no in-level map for this. It's just like figure it out, bitch. And
there's no map, no compass, no nothing. It's just like okay.
I think I did a couple times. Like I just got turned around, and it's like, where am I? Oh wait, I think
it happens to
to
me all. It happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time. But yeah, I need to like back. Like if I could go to a flag and swap to another zone, like warp to another zone, and then just go back and explore that as an over leveled character and find everything and level up and stuff. Like I'm back, baby. But like, yeah, if I have to trek across multiple zones, it's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, and the like you do get a mode of transportation,
which is awesome.
Yeah, like it's a really cool mode of transportation, and it upgrades over time. Like you'll get upgrades. So like at first you can only, it's like a land vehicle, then it can go into the water and it becomes kind of like a boat thing, and eventually you'll be able to fly, and like there's I think 2 other upgrades for it as well. But that thing's not super fast. Like it's faster than you just running, but it's not super fast. So if you need to like travel all the way back to like the early zones, like a little bit. Have you done any of the gestural beaches?
I remember the gestural area. What do you mean by beaches?
So there's the gestural village, which is like that's a story bit.
I got lost in
After you get the mode of transportation, on the ground, Esqui can kind of take out these like coal block. Like you can't walk over it as a
once you get the mount, you can crash.
Yeah, but once you can crush through it. So like right near there's the first Esqui beach, and so you go there, and you'll go in. It's like a normal level, and it is like this bananas platforming segment.
I don't think so. I don't think I did that.
Just imagine like you took a bunch of assets and made a platforming course, like an insane one too, like where shit's like chairs are floating in the air, and like that's a platform, and like there's not the reward for doing it isn't great, but I've now found a second gestural beach, and I'm trying to complete that one. The rewards for them are bathing suits, which are stupid because like the kind of the tone of this game is very dour. Like it's very death focused. Like having your characters run around in bikinis is fucking weird.
I'm going to do it.
But the platforming is so weird just to have it, and it's like it's challenging. Like it's actually pretty tough. They have like moving platforms, things that spin. You have to time your jumps on things. Like it's actually pretty neat. There's just this weird thing that doesn't really fit with the rest of the game. That's just thrown in there on the side, and your reward is like stupid bathing suits. But
also, some things I caught in the last week I did not know going in, and it makes this even more impressive. Is like, I guess the studio is like 30 people or something like that. Like this is a pretty small studio that made this game.
So yes and no. Like, yes, the studio is small, but evidently, once you hit credits, there are like close to
1
1,000
billion
people
people.
that work on
Yeah.
this game. So they outsourced a bunch of stuff. Like,
Okay.
they outsourced like a bunch of artwork and some programming and some music stuff, and like the people that put it together is like a small team of 30, but they like, they
Yeah, if you're using all these, if you're outsourcing all these, I guess maybe less impressive, but still,
it's neat. Like
it's
they're
a
small
yeah,
team,
yeah.
and it's pretty high quality. Like
It's very.
it's up
It's,
there.
I think the game is very high quality. I think it's great. And someone told me, and I didn't look into this. I meant to, but I did not. That like the guy that's doing the music was like a music teacher or something. I was just like, what the fuck? This is like some of the best music I've ever heard in a video game ever.
Well,
And if it's just some like humble guy, like that's cool.
Well, I think it's one of the things kind of with the 30 people where, the fact isn't as. But yeah, it was kind because I think they were also mentioning it was like one of the composers or somebody who helped compose it, they found on SoundCloud. So that's kind of nifty that like they were like, oh, this sounds like it will fit. Because they said
Yeah, I
there was
mean,
a team around it and stuff. It wasn't like one person. But no, that again, it's amazing that it is a game that kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, not that it came out of nowhere. We've known
it's
about it,
kind
but
of yeah.
and it's going to be one of the stories of this year because it feels like, and maybe they'll come on and say something different. This is not necessarily a AAA title in terms of budget, but from all reviews and impressions I've gotten, it does seem like it's kind of like Baldur's Gate 3 of this year, where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a huge studio. It is a game that is a passion project of the people who made it, and it pushes a genre forward a bit. I'm not getting into the whole JRPG conversation. That seems to be very toxic ground right now. But it does, it has gotten people into the genre who may not typically be into the genre or who are as invested into certain aesthetics. So yeah,
I am glad for that. I do think like people going like, oh, this is the first time, and yet like everything in this game is either taken inspiration or fully lifted from other games that have come before it. Like,
Yeah, but it's
every
rad.
yeah, it's all really well put together. It's just
Yeah.
like none of it is like, oh my god, this is like the first time this has ever happened. It's like, yeah, they've
No, it's
taken
just
bits and pieces from all these other games that they love, and they clearly love, and like this is like kind of a you know a love letter to those games. But um, it's batty that like people are like, oh man, this is insane. Like nothing's ever been like this. Like, man, like stuff like
Play more
this, like
games.
that. Like I think people were like, oh, the reactive battle time. Like nobody's ever done this. I mean, like this stuff has been around since
I mean,
Super Mario RPG.
I was gonna say Mario RPGs do the same thing, but it's like
Yeah,
I clearly see that it takes inspiration from that, but I just love and it's funny because it's like one of the things that like is making the game hard for me now. But I love that it leans into that. Like it's almost like a rhythm game at points where you're just like in the middle of a battle, you get in the zone, you're just like, bam, I 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you're counting in your head when to hit the button. Like you know what I mean?
and it gets to a point where like enemies they're attacking you like 6 or 7 times in a turn.
Yeah. And you
So,
start to know, you have to know the beat, and then they'll vary it. Like they'll do variations near the end, like they'll do a longer attack. Or you have to, like, if you hit it too soon, you're like, fuck, now they're gonna hit me because I hit it too soon.
I still haven't found a. I think you said last week you were like it's a sound, but like I don't know. Like maybe I'm just not hearing it.
Really? Oh wow, yeah. There's definitely like when they're doing a wind up, if something will be when the hit starts or something, that's when they hit the button. Like yeah, dude, like they do it for sure all the time. But like it's just also just getting the rhythm of what they're doing. But there's usually a sound cue letting you know when it's time to dodge.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know if it's maybe it's
Maybe I'm insane, but like I'm going by sounds sometimes.
Because like I'm like first time out with a battle, like I'm not hitting it. Like maybe I'll hit a couple dodges or something. I'm certainly not hitting parries. Because the parry window is way smaller than the dodge window. But as it's going, I'm learning the animations and I'm learning like, all right, like this guy, there's this one guy, he's shaped like a lamp and he has a big stick and he like comes and he'll swing it around and then he does like another quick swing around. So like the first time out it was like, all right, I could dodge the first one, but I'm still getting hit by the second one. So it's like press, give it a beat, press. Now he's gonna come down with an overhead attack, press, and then he's
like,
gonna do a big wind up overhead attack, and then you wait a beat, press. Like
I swear some of that will align though with like when you start to hear the whooshing sound when like he does a huge they do huge wind ups, right? But then when you start to hear the whoosh, that's when you get a perfect dodge. Like maybe I was saying because I have not watched any videos on this. I'm just inferring it from my own playing of the game. But I feel like that's part of it is listening to the music, or not just the music, but the sound effects.
That's the sound effect. Yeah, it could be. I just might not be picking.
But the whole thing starts to feel musical. Like once you understand a pattern of an enemy, it's musical. It's done in there's timing to it. You know what I mean?
We'll say I think that maybe so. Once you get to the second act, they add in. So in the first act, you learn to dodge, and then pretty quickly after that, you learn to parry, and those are kind of the two things you can do early in like the first battles. And I think it's like after the second zone, you learn to like enemies will attack your feet, so you can jump above them.
Yeah, if you see like a golden flash,
yeah, and that
then you have to jump.
Yeah, it's like
and
it says they'll flash that way. You jump and then you press the right trigger to parry.
I'm better at that than regular parrying, but what I'm better at than both of them, like I'm actually kind of okay at the gradient parrying, which I'm sure you're probably going to get to. Like the whole screen will go black and white, and then you have to like hold the trigger.
You get to the second area, and they introduce this thing called gradient attacks, or they don't introduce the attacks right away, but gradient parrying. And yeah, like these enemies will go into like sepia black and white tone type attack, and then you now have a fourth kind of reactive, but like,
and it's a huge parry. Like if you do it, like you're gonna take a huge chunk off of them, and it's easier to do. I think it's easier to do than a regular parry.
And if you miss it, like it is worse than regular parry too, because like you'll take a hit for like 800, 900 damage, and it can wipe out like one of your characters.
Yeah.
If you miss it, I think maybe they're just layering a little bit on. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like
that seems like a lot. Like the more you guys talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't really think
there's a lot going on.
I think all the systems are cool. I think all the systems are cool, but I think they really push the challenge of it. That like, because I'm saying like where I'm at, it's just like I can't hurt anybody because like I hate like turn-based battling where like I can't even like touch the person because they have so many shields on. It's like what the fuck. I almost feel like I don't have the right Lumina's on something to negate them. Like,
so but, when there's like one guy that if you attack, like he has like these little orbs that fly around them, and if you attack the orbs, it actually throws shields on everybody. So like it'll do damage to him.
Yeah,
but it throws shields on all the other enemies on the battlefield. It's like, wow, no, what am I doing? There's just a lot going on in it, and combat wise, like while it's really cool, it's very, you have to be engaged with it at all times. Like this isn't going to be Final Fantasy VII where you're just like pressing it back.
Well, yeah, it's like part of the appeal of a turn-based RPG is that you can just kind of chill. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, this is not a chill JRPG.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It kind of gives me both because I love like once my turn to pick what to do, I get to like stop for a minute, take a hit off my joint, whatever. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of mixes it up, but like yeah, you really got to be like, if you're unable to do like dodging and stuff, you're fucked. Like you're just gonna die. Like there's no way around it. But I don't think it's like impossible. I think most people can play this. Like it just gets pretty hard. Like,
So I watched 2 videos on it this week. Guy we both watch occasionally. He does RPG stuff, Mortismal. He did his review last week of this, and he kind of said same thing. Like it's very reactive. You have to be involved in it. He said turning it down to easy doesn't seem to actually make it easier. It just makes the windows, like to the dodging windows and the parry windows.
yeah, that's what I was saying last week.
Yeah,
and
so
it's still very
the game's actually easier or not.
I'm on easy, dude. I'm saying it's getting too hard, so I'm not.
And then the Gymquisition this week had their video was on this, and it was basically about how she is not good at it at all. Like she's just bad. Like, so I'm not sure everybody can play it because she was waving the white flag on that one, but
I don't know.
I'm having a good time with it.
I think it's totally doable.
I would say play through the first act if you guys have a chance.
Yeah,
I think
like you gotta play like the first act of this game. Like the later parts of the first act are just so incredible. Like some of the best games, some of the best gameplay I've had in years.
Some really cool battles, really good music, a shocking end to that as well.
Yeah.
I would say it's on par with if you guys know anything about Final Fantasy VII, the Aerith reveal from that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Really? Oh no.
It's kind
pretty
of like
great.
You don't see it coming. I mean, now that I'm telling you, you'll be like, "Oh, I know something."
Now I'm gonna be waiting for it if I keep playing.
Yeah. But it's pretty. Like I was like, "Holy shit, they did that!" I was not expecting that to happen. Just like 8 hours into the game. But yeah, good stuff there. So Jeff and I will continue playing Expedition 33. Earl, have you continued playing Blueprints?
I not as much. But I did start a game that I wanted to. I mean, you folks have talked about it, but South of Midnight.
Yeah.
I think we were discussing.
Never heard of it.
They were discussing last week. I wanted to start that before I paid for it because it was already downloaded. Might as well play one of these games I download. I guess for the next 2 days while I have Game Pass. So positive, a gorgeous game. I think I've seen the most recent trailer they had at the I forget what Xbox calls their things, but their developer direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how it that went over my head that the animation, the cutscenes are kind of the stop motion animation thing. I thought that was really fun, really cool. I like the storybook, the setting, the narrator who you do meet. I think gorgeous game. I think the music is fantastic, utterly fantastic. That first, I don't want to say boss battle, but that first time like you get like an actual vocal song when you're climbing up that tree just had. I'm assuming it was supposed to make me laugh. But just like them recapping like their first kind of story beat in the game in the most absurd song ever. I'm just like, this is fantastic. This is great. And then I've gotten a few more songs since then. I think the platforming and traverse is actually a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get a lot of moves, and that's a really nifty, and they make it works really well. My biggest qualm, and I think this is the same qualm you folks shared, combat kind of is there. It is not the most compelling thing in the world. It is. I mean, so that's a Bayonetta essentially. it is you go into tiny arenas, and I do love that it's not random or anything. So I do love like in the distance, like, oh, there's a giant green orb and a giant black thing. I guess I'm gonna have combat coming up. So
Yeah.
let me prepare for that. Every once in a while they do try to trick you, like, oh, you're gonna jump into it. I'm like, yeah, I can still see the orbs on the ground. I know it's gonna happen. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't spawn that in after the fight starts.
So what I will say to you about the combat, Earl, and I don't know if Tony or Jeff agree with this, but early on it's not as engaging. You will, as you upgrade your skills and powers, it does become more fun as she can do more. Um, like with you being able to do more powerful attacks and dodge twice, and I think combat becomes better. Never becomes great, but I think it becomes more fun at least until you get to the final boss. But
Okay. Oh, okay. That was my second and third qualm. The second one is I don't know how do I phrase this. It's weird that right now I'm outpacing the game's upgrades. I think right now I have like something like 200 yarn or whatever it's called. Fluff.
floof.
Fluff. But I have nothing to upgrade.
Yep. You will be able to, I think, upgrade everything, and you'll still have floof.
Okay, that's what I figured, but it's just so weird that you would think they'd pace it a bit better. Where I
Yeah.
was it like you think? Oh, I was thinking like, oh man, I have to like be careful, and I'm like, no, okay, now because I've gotten, I'm assuming her 4 main moves, and each of
Okay.
those have been upgraded once. And then I think the skill tree, her skill tree, I think it's 4 of them that's upgraded, and then like nothing's open yet. So I assume there's a story mission later on that will open up other, upgrades for those things. But I was looking at my proof, and I think I'm in chapter 5 or 6, and I am, I guess, minor spoilers. I got the last power up, which ties back to the beginning of the game. Again, I don't know if it's the last power up, but again, the four triggers and show the buttons are used. So I don't know if you'd put stuff on.
Yeah. No. You got the stuffed animal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Minor spoilers, but yes, you get. I forgot what their name is, but
Crouton.
yeah, crouton. Yeah, I think that's the 5th one. And yes, as you progress, like level 3 and level 4 will open up for upgrades.
Okay.
Which is silly. Like I think it would have been better if you could have just upgraded all the way through. But I guess they want to keep her somewhat weak.
I get it's just weird because then you would think you'd backload the proof so that I assume part of it is they want you if you miss them to be able to do it. But it's now I'm sure I've missed a couple of them by now, or some that I just didn't know how to get.
Yeah,
Um,
if you go to the menu, you can kind of like see the chapter select, and you can see how many.
oh, okay. I will look into that.
Um,
Because
it'll tell you if you're missing floof. It'll tell you if you're missing
the health,
the health ones. Yeah,
and
the health
then
tokens.
the lore and stuff that you'll unlock.
I
The
don't
other,
know if it tells you about the lore.
okay. The other one, and again, I do. Again, it's one of those things where she has the Nathan Drake syndrome, but I actually like because I like Hazel as a character. I don't
Mhm.
mind it. I mean, I like Drake, but at some point it is kind of ridiculous that he's talking to himself about everything. And I do like that, that you get to run into these very colorful characters here and there. The other one, and this is not really a gripe, this is just maybe how I play the game. Because each chapter so far, or not each chapter, but like the main mission structure seems to be you go to an area, you find these things, fill up the bottles, and when you fill up the bottles, you then engage in some type of chase
Yep.
sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy the chase sequence. I just never look behind me, so I don't even know what's chasing me. I don't know.
It's just like a shadowy thing.
Okay, Because I like the way the game presents it. I'm like, I don't even want to stop and turn around. It seems like it's just a time, not a time
Yeah.
thing, but
So,
like,
spoilers for the end. That what's chasing you is the final boss.
that I'm not surprised by. I mean, the way they set it up. But what happened the first time, I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a boss. Oh, okay, that's not the boss battle. And then there wasn't. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think there's been a boss encounter for me yet. I'm assuming the first boss, based off of the build up and everything, is gonna be Two Toe Todd, or
Yeah,
whatever.
the
Tom,
alligator.
Two-Toed
Yeah.
Tom.
Two Toe, yes, the alligator. I assume he's the first boss.
Yes,
uh,
there's four bosses in the game. That's the first one.
yes. Also, just a really funny thing that one of the obstacles in the level is essentially, I mean, not essentially, it is spraying shit. That was just a
Yes.
really
Yep.
dumb but funny. Like, I love the setting. I love how just very Southern USA this game is. And it's just like it's been a delight. I absolutely adore Hazel. I think I don't know if I put her on this character of the year yet, but I definitely put Benji's song, or at least the soundtrack for this game, on the soundtrack of 2025 just because I love the folksy music. I love the vocal music so far. It's been it's been so great, and I hope it keeps it up for the rest of the game. Like I said, I'm having an absolute blast with it. Um, if and I know there's really a way to turn off combat or just focus on the story. I do want to do the combat, and again, some of it's not bad. Okay, now that I have Crouton, like he can take over certain enemies for a little bit of time, and that's kind of fun to see. Except sometimes we'll both attack the same enemy, and if you hit them, knock Crouton out, and then it becomes like you mess up your strategy. But I do enjoy it. I'm having fun with it. I'm hoping to, wrap it up. The other reason I started it, it's not from right here. It's not a long game. It's about 10 hours. So I assume I'm at like I said, chapter 5 or 6. I assume it goes to like 12 or 13 or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like 13 or 4. I think it goes to 14, but I think as Tony and I said, like the last chapter is you just
It's
kind of
not a
walk.
chapter.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad you're liking it. That's fun. Hope you finish it while you still have Game Pass.
yeah. Like I said, I will get Game Pass again. I'm being cheap. I don't want to. It's what, $20 a month, $30 a month.
21.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'd rather
21, 22.
I'd rather just buy a bunch of core. I think that's what it's called. Because you can usually find those codes cheaper. Get 3 years of that or something, and then do like a conversion for Game Pass for a month and call it a day.
Yeah, I think they did GIMP the upgrade for that. Like it used to be better
Yeah, I mean,
ratio.
it used to be 1-to-1, and
Yeah.
that was fantastic. But I think again, the thing is, I don't know. I think last I heard it was 3-2, but somebody mentioned recently it might be 2-1. So that would mean like I think 3 years would get you a year and a half, versus I think it would have given you 19. No, it would have given you 20 something months before.
Which is a little bit more than a year and a half, but
Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
all right. Tony, you play anything?
So I have played a number of well, I played a ton of Assassin's Creed, but I have talked a lot about that. I did try the remaster of Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
After Jeff spoke so highly of it last week, I downloaded it on my PC and started playing on Friday. Unbeknownst to me, that was the same day that Bethesda released a patch that broke the game on PC, specifically in the Windows Store. So I played the game for 2 hours, I'm watching like the opening cutscene, and I'm like seeing all these like weird stutters, and like the game looks like shit. I'm like, this is the remaster, the stunning, awesomely looking thing that Jeff was talking about. Like, I played for like an hour and a half. I'm like, I have to stop. This game is literally like the frame rate is giving me a headache. um, so they fixed it though. I think they fixed it on Monday. They released a fix. So I started playing it again, and it's Oblivion, back again. Unlike Jeff, I played Skyrim last year, so I kind of have that as a frame of reference, like a really close one. And it's been a long time since I played Oblivion, but you kind of see the warts a lot more. See how many like quality of life things they've added to Skyrim over time that are kind of missing from Oblivion. Like having to like open each individual thing to see what's in it. Whereas in Skyrim, if you mouse over it, you can tell like, oh, this has these things in it, so I don't need to open that jar or whatever it happens to be. You also get a sense of like how small all the areas are. Because obviously Oblivion, super old game, so to make it work, like locations are smaller and there's more of them. So you got like going through like a large building, you're like, you open a door and you load, and then you go into the room, and then you go through the room into the next room, and you get another loading screen. It's just kind of, the game feels super old. It feels really, really old. Like it's a really faithful recreation. Like I still have my guidebook from when I played Oblivion the first time around. And like everything in there is still like, it's all accurate. It all still works. It's great. That's awesome. I don't know how long I'm going to play this game because it just feels dated.
Really? I mean, it feels
Yeah.
it feels dated, but I think there's mental fun to playing in that world.
Oh, it's certainly fun. It's just like I play like I said, I played Skyrim last year. I also played Fallout. Like it's hard to have played those games and then have this one that's clearly not as good as those games, like too soon after.
I'd rather play this than some of the newer ones, to be honest with you. But like, I can see what you're saying. I can.
Yeah.
But it's been really fun for me to like. I've been like, when I don't know what to do, Expedition 33 anymore, I just go into that and I'll go into a town and start talking to random people, hoping to find a quest, and go down like a quest line, and I'm having fun with that.
I'd forgotten that like each town has their own fighters guild and their own mages guild. Like,
yeah.
Because when you play Skyrim and you're like the guild is in one place in one town in one corner of the empire.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Yeah. My character, I'm kind of focusing on magic, and so the first thing I did was I'm going to go to the mages the mages guild in the big city, and they won't let you in. Like you have to go get you have to go to every single town in Skyrim, do the mages guild there, and like complete a quest for them before they let you in.
Yeah, I
had forgotten about that.
Every one of the like quest lines like that like have like some roadblocks, and so like that's something I'm bumping up against too. Like I'm also trying to do magic, and I don't think I've gotten anywhere in that. But the other one, like say like the Dark Brotherhood, I was like fourth kill of the Dark Brotherhood, and then it was like, lockpick your way into this guy's house, and I just couldn't do it. So I'm like, I guess I'll come back to that later. So that's happened to me a lot. But I don't know. I'm assuming like a lot of that is intended. I don't.
Yeah.
I'd
forgotten. I'd also forgotten about that lock picking mechanic, which is god awful.
I don't get it. I just do the auto. I do the auto every time because I do not understand what I'm doing. Like it's not like the lock picking in their later games is so much easier to get. Like it's
also like actually feeling like you're picking a lock. This is just like Let me push the thing up and hope it stays, and then push up the next
Mhm.
thing up and hope it. On the other hand, I make fun of this game, which is like the game that made the Xbox 360 for me when I first got it. And like I played obsessively, and I'm sure I play more of this. I'm not gonna leave it behind. Like
Yeah.
I'm committed, but it's more appealing to me than Expedition 33. Sorry, guy.
Yeah, you haven't said much more about that game other than you found the beginning boring. I'm telling you, it's
Well,
way
yeah.
better.
I'm sure. I'm not a big JRPG guy. I don't
I'm not either.
like. Yeah, I don't. It's fine.
Maybe you come back to it.
Yeah, maybe.
There's so many games currently
It's
that like.
yeah. Assassin's Creed first. I think Assassin's Creed is the number one priority.
Yeah, you gotta kill all the Shimbukfu.
I'm getting close. I only have 3 left.
I should hop back into that and kill. I think I have 4. So I should probably just like mainline it.
Yeah.
Finish it off, but well, I tried to get Earl to talk about Blueprints because I started that this past week. And I don't know how much I'm gonna play of that game.
Oh no.
It's I don't even want to say it's fine. Like it is. It's fine. It's just I don't think I like the puzzle structure to it. Mostly because it is roguelike and it's so RNG heavy. Like it's so random to what rooms you're gonna get. So to recap, what Blueprints is the puzzle game where you are trying to find the 46th room in a 45-room mansion, and every door you open creates one of 3 different rooms. And you're building yourself to the antechamber, and then I don't know, but I assume you get into the antechamber, and then you have to figure your way into the 46th room. You have a certain amount of steps you can take every day. I think it's 50, which you can get more by like eating fruit or buying certain rooms or like drafting certain rooms. Like a bedroom might give you plus 10 steps, so you can get yourself extra steps. But much like Earl, you can also block yourself out of a run real quickly. Like if you get some bad draws, you can make it so like you might only have 6 rooms and like you can't go anywhere else because all the doors are now blocked off. I think there's some cool puzzles in there. I got, what is it, the billiards room. So there's like a dartboard, and the dartboard has like a mathematics puzzle that it's also randomized, so it'll change every time you come in. But if you ever played darts, I believe it's like 1 to 20 are the numbers on there, and there's different triangles on each of those numbers. So there'll be different colors that'll light up. So let's say 12 lights up, and it'll have, it's green. So then you click on something, and it'll bring up the next puzzle, and so it'll be 1 and 3 light up as green, and green is addition. So the answer to it will be 4, but then you'll get like a second, like a second triangle in closer to the bullseye, and that one's yellow, and the one on the outside is red, and it'll be 2 different numbers. So you have to like add the 2 numbers together, and then multiply or subtract or however it is. Like the colors mean different things. So you're just like figuring out this math puzzle until you get to the end, and then it'll unlock, and there's like keys or something in there. There's another one in the parlor where I believe it's like there's 3 boxes, and you have to find the one that has the
coins.
Open it up, and there's like a gems or coins in it.
Yeah, that's just a logic puzzle. Yes, and I do appreciate that. But yes, to your point, the fact that you solve it one day, it's not that you now have the solution. You have an idea of it, it's a different puzzle the next day, and I
Yep.
hear it's like the billiard room in particular. I hear it gets harder and harder each time you go. People have said there are ways to around like the RNG, not around the RNG, but like you get this and that. But it's one of those things where I think there's a patience needed early to really want to invest time into it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it was a bad month for it in that there were so many other games that came out. I do want to get back to it, but like the initial frustrations, and again, this happens with roguelikes. I mean, intention you're supposed to fail in roguelikes the first time, but like the problem is like with this, the first time could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour, and I think inevitably you end up boxing yourself in because you don't understand the mechanics of like the layouts yet.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
it's like I think you mentioned but there's only depending upon where you are in the house, like certain rooms will appear or won't appear. Like the garage will only appear on the edge of the house. But the terrorists will only appear on the edge of the house. So like you can't have you can't, and what it is I think it's 5 rows of 9 down. So it's a 9 by 5 grid.
yeah, it's 45
And
because you're trying to
yeah,
find the 46th
yeah,
room.
that makes sense. Not so yeah, so you have it. It's this grid of 45 rooms, that possible rooms, and so like you start in the middle of the first row, in the third column, and you can like move forward, left, or right. And you can lock yourself out really quickly if you make a bad choice, or if you don't find the resources that are needed to. Because like some rooms are locked, so you'll need a key. So if you haven't found a key, like, and you draft a room that the next door to open requires a key. If you don't have one, you've locked yourself out. There's also rooms that require gems to craft. So if you don't have any gems, you can lock yourself out. I assume that as you play, like you're gonna find out, like these are gonna come around more frequently. They're always gonna have gems and keys and coins. Um, and I'm only every run is a day, so I'm only 5 days in. It's just like I had a really good run on the third day. I got all the way to the antechamber, but it was just like a wall. It's like I couldn't figure out how to get into it. It's like, well, what am I missing? I've read everything up to this, and I'm not saying like you should be able to beat it on the third run. It's just I don't know what I'm
And
missing, and there's not a lot of stuff in the rooms that I
yes, and
get
that's the
into.
other thing. Even again, like I've not read solutions and stuff, but I've read impressions, and people are like, even once you get into the antechamber, that's not how you beat the game. And then that the thing is like, oh, there's more and more and more. And again, it's like there does seem to be a payoff for investment, but how much do you want to
Yeah.
invest is the problem.
I will say, really good. Like visually, it's a really cool looking game. It has like this. It's like almost like a cell shaded kind of look to it. Um, but very like hand drawn, painterly kind of thing. It's very neat looking. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably, because right now a run is only taking me 10-20 minutes or so. So maybe I just poke at it here and there, a run maybe every day or every other day, until I get bored of it. But I just wish that I knew more what I'm looking for. It just really seems random in the early going. It's like I don't know how to progress here in the proper way. I just seem like I'm randomly getting rooms and I'm randomly putting them together. I don't know.
Yeah, eventually
Oh,
some rooms start. Yeah, I gotta get back. Well, I want to give it more of a chance because again, it does seem to be in the conversation for a lot of people in terms of like their favorite game of the year. So, but granted, if it's just you and I, nobody here seems to be as in love with it. We'll see.
I mean, if you were to come out of it and go, yeah, that's really great, maybe I put more time into it. I will probably put a little bit more time into it as it is. It's free on everything. Well, not on everything, but if you have PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, it's on both. So easy to go try, at the very least. Jeff, you play anything else?
I think Jeff
No?
was on break.
He'd come back to talk about it.
I said no. Sorry, I was muted.
I
I was talking the whole time, guys.
No. It's like, oh no, Jeff fell asleep on us. Yeah, I think we're 2 weeks away from Doom. I think that's the next big release. So, before we go, I do have the Game of the Year nominations open, and one of our awards is Game Pass Game of the Month. I'm assuming based on our talk here that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 would be the choice. We could also throw in Oblivion if Tony feels highly about it. Didn't seem like it, but
Fine.
And twice. That was that? Yeah, that was April as well.
yeah. But circling back to March, like the games that were there, not much. I don't know if any of us played any of them. Jeff did play Atomfall. I don't know if he feels.
I mean, if that was the game, when did South of Midnight come out?
Oh, that's
That
a
was
good
also
question.
April, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was April was.
Yeah, April is crazy, but it easily goes to Expedition 33 for me. Like, I think that game is just one of the best games lately.
I'm willing to throw South of Midnight in there as well, even though that would be 2 for the month. But all right, well I'll write that in there. I also added in Expedition 33 and South. I think somebody already added South of Midnight for best soundtrack score, but
Oh, that was
I just
me.
added
Already beat.
It's Expedition 33 has a very good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to see when I play it.
Yeah.
Jeff could probably provide you some YouTube videos of just the music if you don't.
It's so good. Yeah.
There's some really good battle themes and area themes in that game.
Yep.
Yes, I heard. Oh, I was gonna say I just heard impressions real quick. Again, when I was reading up on the music, like people were like, "It's happy that it's actually music." I mean, and it's fair. I think a lot of games have kind of gone more for like the atmospheric and ambient noises over like straight up like Mario music, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like full themes. They're very good.
It is. Again, it is. It is very clear that this team loves old school Final Fantasy.
Loves everything.
Trigger, Shadow Hearts, Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG, that stuff, Legend of Dragoon. Like they've taken all of these inspirations and kind of melded them into something here. So, music in Final Fantasy is a huge thing, especially back in the PlayStation era where these people clearly are in love with. And they're pulling that forward in this game. I do love the map, the just having like a weird overworld map. Again, it's kind of it's dumb.
Yeah, it takes a while to get there. Yeah,
it does. Once you get there, it's neat to have. It's also super dumb to see your party kind of running around because everything is like oversized. including your characters. But it's goofy, but a good time. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with probably more Expedition 33, maybe more Oblivion if Tony keeps playing it. Maybe he'll kill all the people on Assassin's Creed and be done with it.
I'm working on it right now.
Yeah,
Kill some more people.
Maybe Earl gets back to Blueprints or finishes up South of Midnight. We'll have a bunch of stuff, and hopefully, no more games media will shut down, and
They will.
hopefully PlayStation doesn't say, "Hey, we're also raising our prices in the U.S."
They
That's
will. I don't think
coming,
they will.
isn't it?
They also
so,
will.
But
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Ghost of Tsushima is going to be $80, isn't it? Or not Ghost
Sure.
of Ghost of Yotai.
it's gonna be very interesting because it is going to start creating the haves and have-nots. Like, what can you face for $80? Like Mario Kart, Zelda, Gears of War, Halo, Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed. But like, are you gonna buy Madden for $80 every year?
No.
Absolutely. I will buy Madden. If I buy Madden, it'll be on a steep discount on Black Friday. Otherwise, I'll wait till Super Bowl weekend and just play it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how that shapes out. So. But hopefully, no bad news in the next week. Only good stuff.
Sure, we'll go with
Right.
that.
Fingers crossed, right?
I don't have that many fingers.
We just need two. We just need two fingers. We just need to cross two of them. All right. Jeff, say goodnight.
Yeah. Good night.